Omdevaji, Sheshnag.com, Sheshnag Yoga Center. What on earth is Kundalini? This video is about why a white man would build Tasmania's first Hindu temple. 12th of July 1998, or leading up to it, I realised there's no coincidence. Landed me in the lap of God. Since the 12th of July 98, I've been trying to work out how my connection with God happens. I also work in the profession of taking x-rays, which is called radiography. So it's one of those jobs that reinforces on a daily basis that physical humans are actually just an accumulation of atoms vibrating at a certain frequency. So it's a job that reinforces that as humans we're not really solid. All we are is a mass of energy walks around all day till we die, and the energy decays and whatever happens, happens. So in my investigation of the experience of realization of God, I went into the anatomy and physiology of the system responsible for the realization of God. I found the best texts and the best science that allows the expression of that to do with that experience precisely is one that explains the mechanism of Kundalini awakenings and how the Kundalini awakens at the time that you unify with the Great Being. So I went into that. I did a yoga study for 3 years with a traditional lineage, reinforcing my interpretation or appreciation of the concept of Kundalini. Then I looked into Kundalini and I realised that it's all written in Sanskrit, all to do with yoga. It comes from the Vedas, comes from the Tantra Shastras. It's all written in Sanskrit, the oldest language on the planet. So then I looked into Sanskrit a bit more. I looked into the physiology of the chakras. The chakras are these vibrating things in your body that you can't really see, an invisible aerial, so to speak, that connects you with the outer world on a universal level. Inside your aerial, on the most minuscule level, is frequencies within the chakras that resonate at specific wavelengths and frequencies. Those wavelengths and frequencies have been interpreted in subconscious states by the Munis and the sages and the seers of the past to be that of the Sanskrit alphabet. So if you look at your aerial and what connects you to everything, Sanskrit is the key. Comes from a philosophy to do with Tantra. Tantra is taken out of context sexually a little bit these days, but it's still sneaking in. Yoga sneaks in as an exercise, Tantra sneaks in as sex. Soon enough we realise that yoga is union with God and Tantra is the techniques used to experience union with God. It's pretty simple if you look right into it. So then I break down the physiology of the framework to do with the aerial, and through my interpretation of physics and taking x-rays I realise that they're all wavelengths. The wavelengths that are in my aerial are specific to the Sanskrit alphabet. The Sanskrit alphabet and the Tantric philosophy have been hidden within the Hindu philosophy. For me to represent myself according to my interpretation of the realisation of God and the truth that I understand and the truth that I imbibe from however many lives, especially this one, I realise that it's to do with Sanskrit teachings, the language of the gods. It's called Devanagiri, the abode of the gods. So that's where the gods live, in your spine, in your aerial, in your etheric body. Sounds like I'm a bit off my head going blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it's all to do with Sanskrit at the end of the day. The reason I'm building a Sanskrit temple, on some level the Hindus can use it because they know Sanskrit holds the key. Hindi is a derivative, direct derivative of Sanskrit, very similar. If anyone's going to revive the Sanskrit phenomena or appreciation of it, it's going to come from the Hindus on the planet, because within the Hindu philosophy, which originated in the Indus Valley, so they're named not after a philosophy but a location. So through their divine respect for the oldest philosophy on the planet and the one that includes the most truths for every person in a unique way, then I'm building a temple to dedicate my life with the Tantric philosophy and the Sanskrit writings. Those philosophies and writings are kept sacred and have been maintained very, very precisely within the Hindu philosophy. My temple's actually a Tantric yoga philosophically based temple to do with the vibration of Devanagiri. But in that umbrella of Tantra comes Hinduism. So I allow the Hindus to appreciate it as the first Hindu temple in Tasmania. It's actually just a temple dedicated to God and the human framework and how we're connected to it. And I talk Sheshnag and Kundalini in that Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Mahadev. That's why a white man had built the first Hindu temple in Tasmania. Peace. Share the world. What on earth is Kundalini? Heaven knows.